Happy Homebrew Wednesday, YouTubers, Brewtubers. Welcome to Kotten Brewery once again. Today we're going to build the mechanical side of my HERMS system. So the pots and the pans and the coils and all that stuff. So yeah, this is the fun part. This is where we get our hands dirty. So last week I released the video of the wiring of the HERMS. So that was a big step. Got it tested, at least with some lights. Haven't tested the PID controllers yet, but we'll get to that in the next video or the couple of videos ahead. Yeah, so without further ado, so here it is, laid out in bits, ready to be assembled. A little bit of machining just to put in the holes in the kettles, but the hole punches should do that quite easily. What have we got now? So first thing is our filter plate for the mash tun, and yeah, this is from a company called Matmill. Let's see if I can get it to you. Louterblech. And that's sized perfectly to fit within a 50-litre pot. Very good company. Very rare that you find a company in Europe that does real customized brewing equipment. So very happy with that. We've got a drawing, but we'll get back to that later. We also have our heating element. 3,200 watts, 3.2 kilowatts, draws about 15 amps, so that is why on the control panel one group is connected to this guy alone while powering the rest of the panel from another group. So again, this is from a company called Brewware, another company in Europe, Netherlands. They're based in Eindhoven, and yeah, again, very high quality brew equipment. So this all comes as a kit, and I'm very impressed with the workmanship. Very, very impressed. Also have a HERMS coil from these guys as well. What have we got here? So here's our temperature transducers. These will be in line in the T, and you'll see in here that this will be used to measure the outlet of the mash tun and the outlet of the HERMS coil. And this is our sprue ball, a spray ball, and this will be used to just let the work go back on top. Yeah, hot side aeration. Been reading up on it all day. To be honest, had enough of it. Sort out your cold side aeration first and you'll be fine. Anywho, then we have all of our joints or our connections through the pot. So each connection has a ball valve. This was great, bought from China. I think 8 pieces for about 30 euros. Can't beat it. And then the Camlocks also come from Brewware, and these are again very nicely done. He has machined or specified that the inside should be a wider diameter to not obstruct the flow from the mash kettle through the HERMS coil. So better flow, less impedance, and yeah, happy days. The only problem is I ordered 2 Camlocks here, and these are American Camlocks with NPT thread, because on the chugger pump it's NPT, and the Camlocks, the females do not fit on these males, so I need to figure that out quick. Maybe there's a different Camlock size for NPT as well. That's just going to get annoying because then you need more hoses. Anyway, we'll figure that out. And then we have here our 3 pickups from the bottom of each kettle. That's just to get as low as possible to the ground, and our 2 long recirculation or whirlpool makers, and these, yeah, pretty nice, also from Brewware. They come with the bolts and the seals and everything with them. Very nice piece of equipment, very nice company. Though if you're in a rush, yeah, just make sure you leave enough time to make your order, because yeah, it's quite custom gear, and yeah, and he sells out pretty quickly. So yeah, if he's out, then you gotta wait for a China delivery, which is usually about a month. So understandable. What else? Oh, most important thing. So inside pot number 2, this is our HERMS coil. Again, another device bought from Brewware, and this is amazing. A lovely piece of kit. So this is it, and again, nice weltless fittings, Easy. And they have nice installation videos on their website, so I'll be looking at that later, just to make sure that I don't break the bloody thing. Here is the drawing of the panel. In red we have the red dotted lines. This represents our mashing connection. So these are our red dotted lines. And what we'll do is we will come out of the mash tun via the 230 volt chugger pump, in through the coil, circulate heat, out through the coil, through the top, through our little spray ball, rain on the mash, goes down, through our mat mill filter plate, into the bottom, and continues circulating like so. The strike water kettle, we have the heating element which will be connected at the back, this green dot. And again you can see our little pickup, and this is our pickup, and this is our pickup, and each of these have a valve. So the strike water kettle itself, you have the little 12 volt pump, and that will take the water following the red line for mashing into the little whirlpool device and just circulate the water, provide a bit of agitation so that you get a really good heat transfer over this thing. Otherwise you just get a local heat zone here around this heating element. So I want to try to limit that and try to get a good constant temperature throughout. So while we are mashing, we're also circulating our strike water. And then we have a sight glass here, which I haven't got on the table right now. But this sight glass will go right to the top. And I've got to figure out a good way to calibrate it, because yeah, you can do it cooled based on mass. But then when it's warm, it's expanded. So you have a different measure, you have a different scale. So I think down one side I will do cooled fill based on the weight of the water, and on the other side a warm fill, and take water away, warm water away, and weigh the pot as you take a litre and a litre and a litre and mark it. So you've got a warm scale and a cool scale, and that I think would be the best way to do it. So the green line, this represents our sparge circuit. So when we sparge, we will remain connected to the pickup, but we will disconnect the inlet to our HERMS, and we'll take the outlet from the strike water kettle or the HLT and connect this to the inlet of the HERMS, and thereby you've got all this water which will come through out here through the HERMS, give the coil a good rinse before cleaning, but it will rinse all the water out of that circuit and via the spray ball and will sink down. The second green line is we will disconnect the 230 volt from this inlet. So disconnect the red, then connect the green for the 12 volt pump. So connect the outlet of the mash tun to the inlet of the boil kettle at the bottom there, and just fill from the bottom. I don't see why we couldn't fill from the top either, because it is a low hanging connection there, but either or, it doesn't matter. So connect it there and fill to the top, pumping. And then finally the black line is our boil circuit. So we will disconnect and switch the cables around for the 230 volt, and in the last 15 minutes of the boil, when we put our cooling element in, our cooling coil in, we'll begin to whirlpool and chill that down. So that's it in principle. Have I missed anything? Nah. I'm going to start working now, and I'm going to do my HLT first. Well, I started drilling my pilot tools for the HERMS coil, the pickup, and for the dip tube, and on the back for the heating element. So I will use the hole punch to make these the right sizes. And I'm very, very lucky, because I should have made a hole for the sight glass. Now, I ordered it from China a couple of months ago, and I didn't open it until now, and I just found it there and I opened it, and very sadly I have to report it got smashed somewhere along the way. which is a very big pity. Oh fuck, it's leaking everywhere. Yeah, it's a pity. So the holes are drilled and stamped out. Very nice clean holes from the hole punch. So I think my hole punch is getting a little bit old. It's very difficult to do it through. And then one bigger one for the heating element. So I'm going to install everything. I'll get back to you when that's done. So another day, another go on the HLT. So last time I installed my coil, but I could not fit my dip tube on because I've got a hole in my kettle. And what I'm going to do with the hole is I've just bought a stainless steel blank off, or blank off, I don't know what you call it, but it blanks off the hole. And our little whirlpool stick fits nicely in there now with the HERMS coil in the position. So I'm going to wire up our heating element. So this is our heating element. This is from Brewware. Very nice piece of equipment. Took me a little while to figure out how it was to be assembled because I was delivered 2 separate packages and 2 separate dates, and half the order was in one and half the order was in the other. So I called Elko the other night for a bit of help, and he was very helpful. He sent me a draft of his new installation guide. I'm not going to show you this today because I don't know if he would like me to or not. But it's very, very easy. Easier than IKEA, I promise. So let's have a look at the kit. This is 3.2 kilowatts. It's got a threaded BSP fitting here and a hex lock nut. And here you're going to connect your 2.5mm wire. So it also comes with these here. You're all prepared, and an earthing screw. This is the housing for your current or for your electrical stuff. Now you can see inside there's a nice hexagon. This coincidentally meets this hexagon, so it goes in and it locks together, so you can provide a little bit of torque in this, which is nice, especially when you've got the spanner in the inside and you're just torquing this towards to flatten the wall of the kettle and get a good seal. So this fits. You put the little white silicon into the hex. You place this through with your cables already attached, and now you can see the inside. It's locked, so you can use it as a wrench in effect. This will then you place your O-ring, silicon O-ring, into the groove. So well machined, it really is, and that just fits perfectly in there. Now then you put this through the wall of your kettle, and then finally inside the kettle put this on, and the whole assembly locks into place. At the back, and before you connect your cable with a plug on it, always make sure you got your cable gland put on, because then you're going to have to take the whole bloody thing off again. So that will screw in effect into this, and this is the final seal, and this again provided with a nice hex lock nuts for tidying it up, and that screws on there. Your device screws on there, and there you have it. Oh well, okay, but your full assembly. Very nice piece of kit, and yeah, I don't consider this very expensive. I think it was around 40 euros for the housing, and again 40, but total 80 euros, and there's just no faffing around. Otherwise I would be experimenting, how do I build this, how do I build that. So for a little bit of time saving, this was a perfect buy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to install this in my kettle. Gentlemen, everything is connected. Heating element is in, the coil is in, and 0 leaks from the coil, which is brilliant, and 0 leaks from the heating element, which is also brilliant. And if you've ever done this before with your own sealing method, you always know you have something wrong. So This company brew pie makes good shit. First time installed, no problem. Okay, next morning, I had a friend over last night and we were having a few beers, so I forgot a few things. When you're tightening your HERMS coil, you need to make sure you have a spanner on here, eh? So that when you tighten this and it gets to a certain tightening level, this will begin to rotate as well. And if you don't have a spanner on it, it's very thin piping, it will kink and that's your coil ruined. So put the spanner on and then tighten from the outside. Same goes for the bottom one there. Our little dip piece is on. I've ordered an extension so it will reach the bottom, and I have to compensate on the next pot. Oh, heavy night. And I made a boo-boo. The cap on the back is not on. So I'm having the debate with myself, is it easier to redo the plug or is it easier to redo this? I'm thinking the plug. So I'm going to do it. Already sealed. I've put in the dip tube. So he goes in there for recirculation. It was again a tight fit, but as you can see there's no interface anymore with the thing. It looks quite dirty. So heating elements in, coil is in, all my taps are in. So yeah, it was just unfortunate we got that hole, but we can block it off, no problem. So that is kettle number 1 complete. Ooh la la, look at that. Everything is done. Mash kettle, or strike HLT, element in, ready to be plugged in. We have here the outlet of our spiral, and the point where we're going to connect our thermocouple, and bottom of the spiral, and then our recirculation from here to here, and that will go in via this dip pipe, and in the bottom recirculate. Then we have our heating element at the bottom and our coil. So very neat job, very happy with that. Next is our mash tun. Again, here we have our point for the thermocouple to go in, and on the top we will flow from the outlet of the coil here to the inlet here, through the mash tun, out the bottom, temperature's red, in through the bottom, through the coil and out again where the temperature is red. Underneath we have our sprue ball, our spray ball, and yeah, hot side aeration give me a little bit of worry, but if I fill up my mash tun pretty full, this will be under and I'll be happy as Larry. Filter plate, and then underneath is just the pickup for the wort. Last but not least, our boil kettle. Outlet of the boil kettle or inlet for the transfer. Another whirlpool arm to circulate the wort. So that's it. The mandate is satisfied. So what's next? I'm gonna have to water test all these guys tomorrow. Now I'm going to a party and I'm already late. So fill these bad boys up tomorrow, see if they leak. I can't pump test yet, so maybe I'll just wait till I have a pump, Camlocks, and then I'll test it then. But yay, happy days.